My name's Lawson, and I want to share with you my Florence journey so far and some of the project improvement work that I've been working on since embarking on my Florence Nightingale leadership journey back in 2019 now as a emerging leaders scholar. So I've been nursing just over 20 years now. Initially, I was a staff nurse, senior staff nurse, and then sister in intensive care. And then the last 10 years, I've been working as an advanced nurse practitioner, all at Barnsley Hospital, and more recently, the last 12 months as lead advanced nurse practitioner within trauma and orthopaedics. So my role is predominantly focused around frailty, fragility fracture care, and in particular, leading and managing our hip fracture pathway and ensuring that our hip fracture patients receive the best possible care. And as a result of that and the clinical work that I do, I have a real interest in a lot of prevention work, and particularly prevention around second prevention, so looking at falls and bone health. And this is really where my project was born, really, in terms of the work that I do as an advanced nurse practitioner, looking at some gaps that I feel that we had within our service and also in the wider community. To take you through my project a little bit and how this project was born. So we looked at, well, I certainly looked at some of the gaps in terms of the clinical work that I do, and there really was a need within our local trust and also our wider community to look at fracture prevention. So this was around trying to develop a business case to highlight the gaps in service and put a proposal together for our executive team to develop a fracture liaison service in Barnsley. So this was initially when I set out to do the project. I think I was unaware in terms of the scale of the project and some of the work involved with that. And that's something that I quickly found out, that the work would require a lot of networking, a lot of collaboration, and the bringing of different stakeholders together to enable the project to succeed and to develop. And this was something that, whilst embarking on my Florence Nightingale journey, I managed to gain the skills to develop my experience, confidence, and really find myself as a clinical nurse leader to be able to develop the project, but really bring it into the fore and to get all the stakeholders in a room to really look at, is this something possible? Can I actually deliver this project? I'd never written a business case before, and it was really finding the stepping stones and really trying to run with it. In terms of the Florence Scholarship, what that has given me is it's given me the confidence to lead. It's given me the confidence to challenge. It's given me the confidence of my own convictions, and to know that actually it's okay to not follow the norm. Because before I embarked on my Florence journey, I was at a real crossroads within my career and felt that you really had to fit into a certain box to progress and to develop, and I really didn't fit into any box, and I didn't want to follow the norm. And I think what the scholarship has given me are the skills, the network, the support to be able to believe that you don't have to follow a certain path to get where you want to be, that you can develop, you can inspire, and you can really bring about change in your own way. And I think that's something that I will always cherish and be so thankful to the foundation that it's given me that ability to be able to put my imposter syndrome to one side, use all the skills that the scholarship has afforded me to really develop myself as a clinical nurse leader. And that wouldn't have been possible without guidance and the exposure that the scholarship has given me, and also the friendships that I've made. And you can see the picture there of our Florence 22, and I feel so lucky to have a group of women around me who just support each other, who raise each other up. I have learned so much from every single one of them, and in particular a quote that will always stay with me, I think, throughout my career, and that is, where fear or failure tempts you to take a seat, to risk courageously, to be kind to yourself, and just to, above all, be you. And I think, as well as having the ability to develop the project and meeting so many amazing people along the way, and whether that's through the courses that we've been privileged enough to be part of, the development work, and RADA in particular, to really find yourself and to grow your confidence. And I don't think the project would have ever got off the ground without that, without having the strength of my support network, my mentors, particularly Anne and April Brown, who have just been so amazing supporting me through this entire journey. In terms of the project, we've taken it so much further than what I ever imagined, and COVID did halt things a little bit. I ended up going back to my critical care roots for a period of time, but I'm really proud of the developments that we've been able to make, and the slides you can see there, there's a little bit about the fracture liaison service and the steps that we've taken, looking at the gaps in service, identifying those gaps, approaching our CCG commissioners, and I really gave myself quite a bit of a to-do list actually, and it was all about raising the profile of fragility fractures. And another element I really wanted to achieve was to really raise the profile of hip fracture care, and another big part of the project was to set up yearly collaboration events. So I've never put an event together before, so that was a massive learning curve, as well as writing the business case, getting the stakeholders involved, which for us was our local CCG, who've been amazing, the Royal Osteoporosis Society, and their unwavering support has enabled us to collectively write a business case and have that agreed by board. So that's something that I presented to our executive team back in December last year, and that was approved by them, just awaiting further funding from our CCG. And it was about to go through the CCG board. Unfortunately, that's when COVID hit, so the project unfortunately was halted. We're now seeing that the project is hopefully reinvigorated a little, and that we can make progress and really look at implementing the fracture liaison service now in Barnsley. So I'm really pleased that I think the project has really brought people together, certainly from our organisation, our internal stakeholders and wider partners, our Barnsley Council colleagues, CCG, and it really feels like it's going to be a reality now. So I'm really proud of that, because ultimately there will be significant impacts for not just our patients in Barnsley but the wider community as well. It is really looking at fracture prevention and the idea of reducing the amount of hip fractures and other fragility fractures that we're seeing coming into the organisation. I wanted to do something in terms of a bit of a project in pictures really, and just reminiscing and just remembering the amazing opportunities that we've been afforded as scholars, and also the amazing people that I've met along the way. I've had opportunities to do things I never thought possible, and some of the real standout moments for me were RADA. That really brought you out of your comfort zone, the experiences, and how just seeing how vulnerable you can be in such a supportive environment, surrounded by other scholars that just absolutely raise you up at every opportunity. Westminster, that's again something that I will always cherish and remember. And just having these ladies there that you can see on the screen that have supported me every bit of the way. I managed to put an event together that brought regional and international speakers, and we had our second yearly event following that, but delivered virtually due to COVID. So I'm really proud of the impact that this has had both locally and regionally for us, not only as an organisation, but in terms of trying to bring all the stakeholders together. We had a successful launch day for our first collaboration event, and we intend to continue to hold those yearly. So that's something that I'm really proud of, and it really did help raise the profile for our fragility fracture patients. Some of the bespoke elements of the project we've not quite completed because of COVID, so my intention is to use the bespoke element of my project to undertake a leadership course at Harvard in Boston, and also have some links with the Boston Hospital as well. We've still got some mentor days planned to go back to Westminster and use some of the remaining scholarship funds to complete that journey. So even though there's elements we've not really been able to achieve because of COVID, I'm just so thankful to have had this opportunity at all, and I will be taking a lot of amazing memories away from this experience. Friends, scholars and friends that I will always know, and I just feel really lucky and privileged. I would really like to thank my mentor, Anne Keane, her unwavering support, as well as April Brown. I'd like to thank the foundation and also my sponsor, the Burdett Trust for Nursing as well. It's an opportunity that I never thought possible. It's given me skills that I never thought I had. It's brought out in me the ability to have courage in my convictions, to stand up and have a voice and know that I don't have to tread the same path as everyone else, and I will never just follow the norm. So all I can say is thank you to the foundation and anybody who is thinking of embarking on a Florence Nightingale scholarship. You will never look back, and it is the best thing that you will ever do.